Federal authorities are officially turning over evidence surrounding the deaths of Renee and Alex Pretti. Minnesota officials continue their investigation after ICE agents shot both Pretti and Good in two different incidents. This comes after an ICE officer shot and killed a driver in Maine yesterday. So with this new evidence, where do the Minnesota cases go now?
Joining us now is our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes. And this evidence turnover is a long time coming, right? What was the back and forth between federal agents not really releasing the evidence they had?
Long time coming. 6 months is a long time. The wheels of justice turn low. Attorney General for Minnesota, Keith Ellison, said it should have never taken this long. I hope this is the beginning of a major course correction on the part of the federal government. And so he says, look, we've been working hand in hand with the federal government on a number of investigations, bigger investigations than this, large scale, you know, but in this scenario, the federal government didn't want to turn over anything. This was the best way I could describe it is reciprocity. The only reason the government turned over this information was because there was another case. There was a case where there was an officer that shot into a home, non-fatal shooting, shot a person in Minnesota. Well, the state was already investigating this officer, and so the federal government says, well, if you turn over your information for him, we'll turn over this information for the Good and the Pretti case. And that's how we got to this scenario right here. It was definitely reciprocity. So without that case, unfortunately, you don't want someone to get shot in the matter to get this information turned over. But that's the only reason the government turned this over, because they were already in court all the way up until the other day. And then both sides came together and told the judge, hey, we think we're close, give us some more time. And that's how we got this situation where they turned over the evidence.
Does that 6-month delay, does that ever become part of the legal fight as well? Or it just is what it is? It just takes that long?
It is what it is. I mean, if you're attempting to get it, they are the custodians and holder of the information. I mean, you're talking about hard drives. You're talking about the physical vehicle that she was shot in. I mean, so you can't do an investigation if you don't have the information in front of you. I mean, for me, this is the best part of the case. When I'm representing a person, I can talk to my client and I can write down everything they tell me. But until I get the discovery, until they turn over everything that they have, I only see part of the picture. You know, I want to know the whole picture before I can go and prepare my case. That's the same way here. If they are attempting to bring potential charges against anyone connected to this case, you need the information to be able to do that. And so this, as they all mentioned in the pressers and a number of other reports about this information was vital for moving forward. I mean, you've had 9+ individuals that have been killed, at least so far, regarding these type of ICE situations that have happened across the country. There have been no charges connected to these fatal shootings. This is a step in the right direction in terms of saying, well, was there justification? Was there any basis for it? And if there wasn't, then there will be no charges. But you can't have an investigation if you don't have the evidence.
Yeah. We've talked about federal protections for agents, right, working for the government before. Do you see that being an issue here in bringing charges? What does that path look like?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the largest hurdle, right? If you're operating within your color of law, right? But then you have to be able to say, have they violated this individual's civil rights? But then can you overcome that actual malice requirement to get over that? And yes, that's going to be the hardest part. So even if they were negligent, even if they did something where they acted reckless, was it to the point where I was attempting to cause some actual malice? And that is normally going to be the hardest hurdle. We talked about it last week with the shooting with the individual in Houston. I think that's going to come up with this most recent shooting in Maine. I mean, so now you have to have a process that starts. And right now we were kind of just hanging, waiting, 6 months of waiting. Now these investigators can do their job and figure out, well, was there anything that occurred that was outside that line, so that these folks can either bring some type of civil claim or the criminal process can go forward. So this is a good step in the right direction.
Some of the frustrations along the way in some of these different cases is not all of the ICE agents had body cam. You know, they weren't on or they weren't equipped. You know, they didn't have the equipment, especially down in the Houston area. Do you see that being almost demanded from the public? Or I'm wondering why they don't all just have the same type of equipment. It's one agency.
I would agree with that assessment that you would typically assume that a person that's going to be in this situation would want for both your protection to make sure, hey, I'm on everything I've done is on the up and up, and that it's recorded. And you have to take a step back. The reason we have these body cameras already was to protect the public, that transparency, that is extremely vital. It's a trust, a back and forth between the members of the public and law enforcement. And so, yes, you would expect that they would have it on. Every once in a while, I run into a case where an officer's camera wasn't on, but that's extremely rare. If you got 5 or 6 officers there, most of them, they're going to have their cameras on. And I like the fact that it comes on and it gives you a little bit of the recording before they even hit the button, so you can know what's going on before the moment occurred. In scenarios where it's not on, I do have pause. I am concerned. I'm saying, well, what happened? But I don't want a Monday morning quarterback it either. Sometimes you're in the heat of trying to make sure you make it home at night. And so I recognize and understand that, but not having it on, that is problematic for an investigation standpoint. It is.
All right, so we'll track this and see where that case goes. Khalif, thank you.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.